This week's tip is going to be focusing on a different condition in the bunker, to where, you know, we have a lot of bunkers out here and we've done a lot of work on them trying to maintain enough sand in them to give you an optimal lie when you get in the bunker. But sometimes when that happens, when you have a nice fluffy bunker, we are experienced with buried lies. So you might come into the bunker finding your ball underneath a little bit of sand. And the second thing that we're going to talk about today is having a bunker where maybe it rained the night before, or it's rained all week long, and we weren't able to fluff up the bunker for you, and you went out and played and you found yourself on a nice hard pan lie. And I'm going to show you just a quick easy tip that will help you with both of those shots, and the tip's going to be very similar for both of them. So we're going to start with a nice hard pan lie in the bunker. As you can tell here, it's not very fluffy. The rain has patted it down. And basically what we're going to do here is just basically adjust the club face as we're swinging. Most of the time when we set up for a bunker shot, we open our stance up pretty open and we open up the golf club. And the reason why we open the club is we want to utilize the back edge of the club, which is called the bounce. So the club in a fluffy condition would bounce off of the turf or the sand. And in a hard pan lie, unfortunately, if we use the bounce and we hit a hard surface, that club's going to bounce off of that hard surface, and then the leading edge of the club will hit the golf ball and send it shooting across the green. So what we have to do here is we just have to set up the golf club a little bit differently and maybe not open our stance as much, and that should ensure that the club will dig a little bit as we're swinging. So instead of opening up your club face to hit this shot, I want you to set it up square when you hit it. If you set it up square, the leading edge of the club will hit the sand and dig into the sand, which will then allow the sand to push the golf ball onto the green. Again, if we're in a buried lie, we're going to do the same thing. So if we have the ball underneath the sand a little bit, instead of opening up that club face, we're going to keep it more square. Instead of opening our stance way open, we're going to have it a little less open to ensure when we make contact that the leading edge grabs that sand first and digs a little bit to help push that golf ball onto the green. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to take our setup to this flag right here. I'm going to have my stance just slightly open and my ball position just slightly forward. Normally we would open up the club face. Here we're going to hold the club face very square when we swing the shot, and we could even toe the club face in a little bit, have the club face just slightly shut. The only thing that's going to happen here when that ball comes out, because of the club face being square or even just a little bit of close, the ball's going to have some topspin on it. It's going to want to release once it hits the green. So the key here is just getting the ball out of the bunker and not having to hit another one. And then from there, we'll have to adjust and maybe chip back onto the green. Hopefully we've stayed on the green though. So let's see what happens. I've got a buried lie here. I'm going to take my stance just slightly open. I'm going to take that club face and I'm going to toe it in just slightly. Let's see if we can get this ball out of this nice buried lie. We're going to hit about an inch behind it, remember, because we want the sand to push the ball out onto the green. So I've got about an inch behind it. I've got the club face slightly closed. Let's see what happens. Ball hopped out. Now, as you notice, it had a little bit of forward spin, and that's why it didn't stop. But if you look here, the club was able to dig into the dirt. The reason for it is I didn't open the club face. So if you want to be successful out of hitting off of a hard pan lie, or even a ball that's been buried a little bit, you want to make sure that you set up for success. In a normal bunker shot, you open the face and you open your stance. We're in a hard pan lie. Remember, you're going to experience that every now and then when you come out to play golf. You're going to find a bunker that doesn't have a lot of sand in it, and I don't want you to walk up to that fearing that you're not going to hit a good shot. If you set up properly, it will help you be more successful for this shot.